Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday's ad-free live stream. We're going to be checking out the market. We're trading the Nasdaq this afternoon. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Welcome to the first PM trading session this week. Typically Tuesdays, I will trade in the PM session because I got other things to do in the morning on Tuesdays. If you're here for the first time, we're going to be talking about ICT concepts. We're going to be trading. We're going to be taking live trades. We're going to be talking about fair value gaps, order blocks, breakers, inversions. We're going to be talking about all that stuff. So any questions you have, feel free to drop them in the chat. We're going to be taking a look at the higher time frame analysis, see what we've done, where we could be going, and see if we can benefit from that. We are in the 1 p.m. macro right now, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's open in prayer. Father, we thank you for another day of trading. We thank you for your faithfulness to direct our steps today. Father, we pray for your blessing, Father, your hand to lead us and guide us. Father, give us your wisdom. Beyond all else, Father, we ask for wisdom. Beyond silver and gold, we ask for understanding and wisdom. Would you direct our steps today? I pray for everyone here that they would see increase, not only in their trading, but in their personal walk with their families, with their friends, families, and also, and most importantly, with you, Father. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, welcome. If you're here, say hi. Typically, the PM sessions have typically lower numbers. Not as many people are able to join, which is completely understandable. So, Jason, what's up? How you doing? Lewis, good vibes. Good morning. Yeagle, good morning or afternoon. It's not morning anymore. See, that's how often I be trading in the morning. Let's go ahead. We're going to jump to the daily time frame here. This is where we're at, okay? Now, we are in the, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are on our 6th potential green day. I wouldn't mind a PM sell-off. That would be really nice. And I think that is really possible. We have my target, I think. This is me just off the cuff right now. Now, could we go higher? We're gonna go through our 3-step process. We're gonna be looking for a higher time frame, or excuse me, a bullish target and a bearish target. The bullish target's already been hit. We've had our previous day high already been grabbed. How much higher could we go? I don't see much. Lower time frame target. We have the previous day low. We have the daily fair value gap that's sitting right down here. I'm sorry. Let me change my screen. I like to do introductions that way and then change them. This is the daily fair value gap that I'm referring to. This is the daily high we've hit. This is the daily low that's down here, and we've been just hanging out above the equilibrium of the yesterday's range. We have this right here, and then just take a note, we are inside of this daily fair value gap. Do you see that? We're retesting this daily fair value gap. Yeah, it's already been closed. It's already been used, but it's still technically a valid fair value gap. So if I'm looking at a higher time frame target, I'm watching and keeping an eye at the midpoint of that daily fair value gap. And to be honest, we could drag this down to include this volume imbalance, and that makes it even more closer to where current price action is. Okay, we've had our targets so far. We have our daily fair value gap that's sitting down here, or in new day opening gap. We have our new day opening gap there. So one from Monday, and then we have Tuesdays. We'll be probably eliminating one of these here shortly. But that 4-hour fair value gap is really strong. So I'm looking at if we want to do a sweep of liquidity here and then roll over. That's kind of how I'm looking at that. If you look at the hourly, we just have a new hour, and we potentially could be sweeping that high. And I would love to see a little bit of a sell-off. So I'm going to mark that high right there. We're going to call that buy-side liquidity. And we're going to see as we drop down to lower time frames, do we sweep and run that high and then start selling off? We have a lot of room right here that we could come back into this range. There's there's also this breaker right here. We have that breaker. So a low, high, lower, low. We break through it. Does it want to come back down and retest that breaker, which is also where we see some order blocks right here on the 30-minute. So there's some possibilities. There we go. We just swept the high. Do we want to hold it? That's the question. I'm going to say no. I would love to see a sell-off. I'm looking at my execution chart here, and we'll be looking at that here as well. But looking at the 15-minute, I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, guys. Come on. We're going to get a pullback. I mean, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then look at that sell-off. So I'm really interested in a PM sell-off or a PM retracement. It's just the most obvious because we've been bullish, we consolidated, we're bullish. We have, I mean, unless we're just going to have a trend day, if it's going to be a trend day, guys, and it's just going to go higher, then you and I are going to hang out and not take a trade. No trades if it's not going to give us something, because, I mean, you can't do anything high probable when you see this. I mean, as far as going long, right? So I want to look to see if this wants to sell off. Dropping down to the 5-minute, we have a 5-minute fair value gap right here. Interested. We have a BPR. That's definitely bullish. That's definitely a bullish BPR. Look at that. And then we tagged it right here, and then boom, smashed it higher. That's really intriguing. We have a 5-minute breaker. We have a low, high, lower, low, and we broke higher. Do we want to come back down and test that level right around here, around the 19,600s? Potentially interesting. I'm just looking. Here's our daily fair value gap sitting right here. There's the midpoint. Midpoint of that daily fair value gap is sitting at 19,688. So we're going to keep an eye on the 19,688. I'm just going to mark that here. All right, that's that burgundy line. That's the midpoint of that daily fair value gap. I just want to see if it wants to hit that or consolidate around there and start selling off. But, I mean, we've had quite the run over the lunch, and now we're into the PM session. I wouldn't mind seeing it coming back down and testing the previous day high, testing that breaker, and we potentially could get a trade towards that and take our entry in that direction. So I think that's, if I was to give you guys the rundown of what I'm thinking, we have our higher time frame target right now, which is the midpoint of the daily fair value gap, and then our lower time for, or our bearish target, which is, I mean, honestly, it's way down here. Do I expect to get it? No. Do I want to try to take a trade all the way to there? No. I'm not interested in that. But can I see a consolidation, manipulation, distribution? Oh yeah. I mean, that's a solid power of 3 right there. So if we start seeing aggressive action this way, guys, I mean, I'm saying it could go all the way. Am I going to try to get all the way? No. I honestly could just sweep that low right down there. Sweeping those lows would be nice. That's a lot of points right there. That's 200 points. I mean, come on. That's some good numbers. So we really don't need to get all of that to profit. We're just looking for a small little piece, 30, 40, 50 handles. Take it and run. And on top of that, guys, I'm already green. I did take a trade earlier. All right, let's just pay attention here. Remember, this is our hourly. So I'm seeing this is a little wick, and then I'm looking for a sell-off here. So initially, I'm interested in something like right here, a high, low, higher, high, break lower, hit the breaker, and sell off right there. That would be interesting. Price could really be aggressive right around here and run through these levels. And if it wants to run higher, then I'm going to miss it. That's just the honest truth. All right, so see how aggressive this is to the downside? That's what I'm liking. I need to see it run below there. What's up, Ted? How you doing? Vic, what's going on, my friend? Watching from India, good vibes. Welcome. 11 p.m. there. Woo! Almost quit trading thing. I almost quit this trading thing yesterday. Wow. Lord asked for help, and I'm supposed to doing this. Lord, I love the Lord. I asked for help from Him, and I'm supposed to be doing this. Lord, I'm losing money. Then my YouTube came up. Awesome. Well, let's start by, Vic, you reducing how much you're losing by going to a demo account, and let's start from there. Yeah, it's not very fun. It's not going to be the most exciting, but you will stop losing money, and you can start learning the strategy without the emotions of losing money. And that's a great place to start. What's up, Bob? Tyler, I know you are busy. Sent a couple questions via email. I'll take a look at them. All right, Ted, we'll see you, my friend. Paige, what's up? How you doing? God bless you. Love your channel. So good to have a believer trading and teaching us biblical principles. All of this is connected to God's promises. Couldn't say it any better myself. All right, that is a 5-minute change in state of delivery level. Those two up close candles are 5-minute candles. I want to see a 5-minute candle close below that line. 5-minute candle close below that line. That's important. Doesn't mean I can't take a trade before it, but it's more probable if it closes. Where does it have to break to enter short? That's not a black and white question, Jason. I wish it was. But the main level I'm watching is the 159 candle. I want it to close below that level, ideally. I would also love it to the 5-minute candle to close below the 5-minute change in state of delivery, which is this line right there at 19,651. Now, I've seen it close below and I've seen it go higher, but I'm interested in the hourly running. It's sweeping the previous hour candle and then rolling over. We've had lots of aggression the past 2 hours. Or hour and a half, and I want to see if we want to get any type of retracement. I mean, even if we get in here and we run to that low, that's 16. We can go for 26 handles right there. 26 handles would be a nice trade. Also, I did just get a discount code for Tradify. If you're interested in going the straight to funded accounts, Tradify is there as an option. Also, yesterday I did end up passing the first Take Profit Trader test account that I purchased, that I said I was going to test out. I'm a little disappointed that I have to pay $130. Maybe I didn't read it myself, and that's probably the case, but I remember multiple people on this channel sharing that Take Profit Trader is way better than Apex because they don't require an activation fee. And that just is not true. I paid $130 to get a 50K account with Take Profit Trader, and now I'm paying another $130 to get the Pro account so I can start withdrawing money. So I'm going to be in it $260. Hang on, 170 times, I got a 30% discount times 70, $120. So I paid $120 for this Take Profit Trader account. Passed it the first month, so the subscription stops. But then to activate the Pro account, I have to pay, or I did pay this morning, another $130. So you're $250. $250 just for one 50K account. Apex, it's $33 for your test or your evaluation account. And then $130 if you pass that test account to get your performance account or your Pro account, whatever you want to call it. And that comes out to be a total of $160. So Apex is $100 cheaper. I don't know what everybody was saying about Take Profit. Now, Take Profit has one thing that I like better than Apex. Take Profit Trader allows you in your Pro account to withdraw money at any time in your Pro account. Immediately, same day, boom, done. Your money. Apex requires 8 days of trading. So that's almost 2 weeks of trading between payouts on Apex. So there's definitely pros and cons to both. Definitely pros and cons to both. But, and I think they're different for different traders. So depending on if you're a brand new trader, I don't think Take Profit Trader is for you. If you're a brand new trader and you want to add risk to your trading, but you don't want to break the bank, Take Profit Trader is horrible. It's a horrible option. But if you're confident you can pass an eval account or your test account first try, second try, and you want to make money and withdraw that money without having to wait 8 days, then Take Profit Trader, I think, would be for you. Either way, I do have a discount for that. It's 30% off. It's 40% off if it's your first time. So anyway, I'm probably going to do a video on this, and that's really the nuts and bolts. We're waiting for price to do something. I'm not taking a long. I'm going to take a short, but I can't take a short until I get confidence that it's moving lower. So it didn't run beneath my levels that I really wanted to see it go below. So since it didn't, we don't take a trade. We're just going to sit and wait. This is the game of patience. Patience, patience, patience. Say it 1,000 times, whatever it takes to realize that you just got to be patient. And one way I'm patient is by talking about other things. So I'm going to be doing a video on Apex and Take Profit Trader and do a side-by-side comparison so people have a better idea. Because I think the prop firm space is a great value add for traders. It's just you got to know what you're getting into before you just dump some cash into it. I use Ninja Trader or TradingView. That's where all my stuff is at. TradingView. I don't have any complaints with them. All right, let's bump over to ES real quick. Looking at ES right now on the daily time frame, we have this opening range gap that still hasn't been filled. So if we're pushing higher, it's completely due to ES, in my opinion. All of this is unbalanced area, an unbalanced area in the chart that needs to be rebalanced. Could it do it right now? Potentially. Could it do it later? I don't know. But if we're going to push higher, this is the reason. But I'm not interested in taking a trade higher. I don't have any targets higher. It's just open area that it could just keep, it could just start creeping higher and higher and higher in. And I don't want to mess around with that. I'm looking for the aggressive move lower because I know we're going to get it. I know we're going to get a retracement. I mean, you can already see potential one happening right here. I don't like that it's already 120, so it makes me want to wait. Thinking that we could get a fake out here. A fake move lower. But like I said, I'm already green on the day. I've already taken a couple trades. Not very much. Actually, I only took one trade, and that was this morning. And then on one of my performance counts, I was doing it on my phone, so I just did one account. So I'm up $650 on one account, and then $100 on all the others. All right, this is the first minute of the 5-minute candle. So I see this as potential manipulation. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to take this right now. The first minute on that 5-minute, especially when it wicks lower, that could be manipulation for a move higher. So I'm not interested in that. I've been burned. I've been majorly burned on that before. Doesn't mean I can't miss you could miss the move as a result of this, but we're going to let 1, 2, 3 minutes go by and then come back up. We want it to see this breaker, and I'm going to look for the sell-off. So we have 0 fair value gaps in all of this price action here. I would like to see a fair value gap be created right here in the next 25 seconds. So I want it to be a big candle, and then I want the next candle to run lower. That's what I want, because I want a fair value gap right here. If we can get that fair value gap right there, that makes things interesting for us as an opportunity. Because once it revisits that fair value gap, we can go short. All right, so there's our close. That's at the 2:22:21 candle. And now we need to wait for price. We could also look at this breaker here, folks. This is also a breaker. So we're looking at a couple different options. Now it's just about which is the safest, which makes the most sense. I'm waiting. I'm going to wait for the 5-minute candle to close. So that candle closes in about 3 minutes. Whoops. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I want that to close below this, okay? Preferably before we go into this 5-minute fair value gap, which is sitting right there. So it's a lot that I'm asking for it to do. If it doesn't, it gives me the confidence to potentially take the trade. Okay. We have a volume imbalance right in here. Do you guys see that? That little gap in price gap between the candles. That is our potential. Well, there it is. And we haven't closed the 5-minute yet, so I'm waiting. There's a breaker there. We could use this. That's not a breaker. That's yeah, technically that is. This is why we wait for the 5-minute, especially in this type of price action. That could just go right against us. Everything was looking great until there, folks. Now we're going to sit and wait. I'm not interested in a long. I potentially, no. 5-minute. Look at that. 1 minute left. Do you see what remember what I said at the beginning of this 5-minute candle? I said this was a new 5-minute candle and it was breaking lower, And I said, I don't want to take this because I've been burned by this before. That 5-minute candle right at the opening, running and sweep and running below where I want it to go. Whew. Thank you, Jesus. Final approach. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, so now that we're back up here, we're back at ground. We're back at break even. We're not taking a trade. We're not doing anything different. We're waiting. Now that we ran below this, look at this. So that's kind of gone in my opinion. So I'm not interested, and this is the breaker that I'm now interested in. It gave up the ghost in my opinion. So I was looking at this. We didn't take it because the 5-minute was looking funky. Now this is really our level. When we can get down here, we could potentially even take an inversion to the downside there. That's not bad either. We'll see what it wants to do. Either way, we're reading price action, trying to find an opportunity that makes sense and not just taking anything, because it's easy to get burned in the PM session if you're not careful. I only know that because I've been burned. I'm interested in taking this short, this inversion right here. What's up, Mary? How are you? Matt, what's up? You are the first live trader I've seen that actually explains what they're doing and seeing. I try. I also like to talk. Actually, no. I know people that like to talk, and I go, wow, they just don't stop, do they? I can stop. I can listen. I'm a good listener. You got to have both. You got to be a good listener, and you got to be a good talker. But when there's nobody else talking here, I mean, it's silence if I'm not saying anything. So, well, you had a baby. Congratulations. Is it your first, Mary? Second? How many kids do you got? I got 3 boys. My kids are, I have a 13-year-old, a 10, and 9-year-old. I've been married. I'll be going on 18 years in July. I know. All right. They're messing with us. All right. It's almost 1:30. 1:30 is the beginning of the PM session. Okay? 1:30 is our green light to start trading. I was going to take a trade sooner, but if it gives us a good setup, it's a good sign. Yeah, but I only trade Nasdaq. I teach, but I teach based on what I'm trading, and it works for all of it. I don't trade SPY, no. I only trade this. So if you want to learn what I'm teaching, you can learn the concepts, but I'm trading this. The concepts still apply, they still work. They work anywhere, I'm told. I can't say I know it based off personal experience. What's up, Adzi? Wouldn't that line where you marked change in state of delivery, which was the last down candle before that up move, also be a breaker? Yes. But there's more than just identifying breaker. We're not just finding a breaker and go, oh, there it is, go short. It's more than that, right? I see multiple breakers here. There's a breaker here. There's a breaker here. This could be a breaker based on this body being higher than this body. So there's a breaker there. But are we just going off of any breaker? No, we are also lining up other confluences, time, price, the 5-minute candle to really give us an idea of what's going on. So I'm glad I waited for that change in state of delivery. Why? I would have been burned. And I can tell you, in the past, the old Tyler would have taken that. So, I mean, we just dodged a bullet, folks, by being patient. That's the value of patience. You dodge bullets. So patience is so much more valuable than people think. Mary, I want to teach my oldest to trade, but he wants nothing to do with it right now. He thinks it's boring. So I'm going to put him to work. I'm going to make him get a job. I'm going to make him do the stuff that I had to do and learn hard work. And then when he goes, you know what, Dad? You just click a few buttons and you make money. I want to learn that. Be like, you're thinking. You're finally learning. No, I have zero news, final approach. I don't do any news. Now, because I trade strictly price action. Now, there are times when, what was it, the other day, I got burned because Trump tweeted that the news came out that the White House was going to delay tariffs 90 days, and boom, it skyrocketed. But outside of that, I just know when the major news is, like FOMC, CPI, the JOLTS, non-farm payroll, and I don't take those candles. I wait, but I wait till after. Adsy, I know. Hey, I'm laughing because I can relate, my friend. I'm laughing because I can relate. So far, guys, we've had absolutely nothing. We've had potential. I mean, this looked good. It looked so juicy. I was ready to rock and roll. It didn't. I was waiting for the 5-minute close, and guess where the 5-minute closed? Up here. Look at that. It didn't give us the close. So now that we are probably getting a new high, we're going to move this change in state of delivery to this candle's low. Because I want a 5-minute, I want the series of candles that makes the highest high to be the level that I'm targeting. That's just a basic rule of thumb. It can change, but as a rule of thumb, that's the idea. So we're waiting another 3 minutes to see where this candle closes, and then we'll probably move that. But the thing I want you guys to notice is the macro began, the 2 p.m. macro ended right here. Ended right here on this candle right here, 2:15. After that, I'm like, I'm not as interested because it could be a fake out. I said that. I don't know if you heard me say that, but I said that. And then it goes like this. It looks like it's going to go, and guess what? Fake out. So now we're just waiting. I would rather wait till about 1:45 to start looking for something. Hang on one second, folks. Okay. Let me close the door. All right. So again, just a lot of price action inside of all of this, and I don't want to take anything inside that. When you start seeing price action like this, folks, stay out. Just stay away from it. You will avoid so many negative emotions and so many losses as a result of it. So if I'm honest with you, this looks like it wants to go higher. Look at all this consolidation right here. Look at that. Look at that perfect, nice box. And then this little bit right here. Looks like we probably are going to go higher. I'm not going to take it if it goes higher, though. Oh, I did mention this, but tomorrow is the last day for Apex's 80% off sale. If you use Apex, consider using the code DTJ if you find value in what I'm teaching. That's all I ask. If you don't, there's a couple other prop firms on there if you use any of those. But Apex, personally, is my favorite right now. I like the low cost. It doesn't bother me that they have a trailing drawdown. It doesn't bother me that they have consistency rules. As long as you're consistent, they pay out. So, what's up, Sarah? How are you? Welcome. Francisco, how you doing? ICT bought a few minutes ago and take the double top. Yeah. Cool. I don't want to trade it. He's the man. He can do more stuff. Music in 1 minute. Thank you. I've put a lot of time and thought into this channel. I'm Jane. How you doing? Welcome. Glad you're here. I figured we're going to have some new people here. I've gotten about 3,000 new subscribers in the last week. Yeah, what Yaggle said. Hit the like button. If you guys want to see a live trade, if you want to see a live on-screen trade, hit the like button for me. Thank you, thank you. Adzi, ICT ain't even online, so I'm not sure which ICT that is. Yeah, I'm like, when he said that, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm looking at straight consolidation here. Straight consolidation. Yeah, it's going up and down, but, I mean, look around it here. It's like, it's straight consolidation. Let's do it. Music, can I ask your name, Music, in 1 minute? It's kind of weird for me to say Music in 1 minute every time. What's your name? I'll try to remember. But in short, are you a new trader? How long have you been trading? Vanessa, how long have you been trading? You've only been paper trading, but I want to use my YouTube ad revenue to trade real money now. Okay, so before you do that, you need to prove to yourself that you be consistently profitable, number one. Number two, before you just put money in, I would do a prop firm account and only spend $30 with a little bit of risk and prove to yourself that you can pass the account. That will be a good sign that you're ready to take that next step, okay? Too many people, including myself, just put money in an account, thought they were ready, just started trading and blew it all and lost it, okay? So use that, save that money to build when you know and you're convinced it's time, okay? So that's number one. Number two, like I said before, I'm just repeating myself. Choose a prop firm account that you can spend $20, $30, $40, $50, $100 with, okay? And trade on that. Because if you have one loss in your personal account, that could be $100. If you have one loss in a prop firm account, guess what? You still have so many other trades before that account's blown, and you only lost $100 or you only lost $30. So there's a couple ways that you can go. You could go a Tradeify route. You could go Tradeify. Tradeify has you pay one time and you can go to a live account. So you don't have any monthly cost if you don't want the monthly cost. Or you go to a prop firm account like Apex, and you get there an eval for $33. And every 30 days, they'll charge you for that eval account if it hasn't been blown or not passed. So if it's static, you pay $30 a month compared to $30 per trade if you're risking, a single micro. So that's how I would start. And then once you've opened that account and you're deciding to take that next step, it is now time to prove to yourself that you have a proven, repeatable, and rule-based model that you can follow. Okay? Proven, repeatable, rule-based. You need those to be able to trade. You're not here to gamble. I gambled. It didn't go so well. Most people here, give me a 1 in the chat if you've gambled your money on trading. Put a 1 in the chat if you have gambled. Okay? It's so easy to, you know what? I'll do it because I'm the first to admit that I've gambled in here. Okay? This is the problem in this industry. You're going to see a ton of 1s in here because it's so easy to speculate. What is gambling? Gambling is speculation. I'm speculating that price is going to go up or down. We don't want to speculate. We want to take the next level above speculation, and that is, hey, I've seen this pattern over and over again, that now my speculation turns into there's a higher probability that something's going to happen here. And that's what we're looking for. We want to turn speculation into that higher probable idea that price is going to do something. And then we put rules around it, okay? Only when it sweeps a high am I going to take a short. Only after it goes below the breaker. Only after it has a 5-minute change in state of delivery. Only when it's between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m., right? You put rules around your idea, and then you execute. You test it out. You back test it. You go back in price action and see how many times that setup failed based on your rules and how many times that setup passed based on your rules. And then you're gonna look and you're gonna find 100 times that you saw that trade play out as you look over the past year of price action, and you'll go, well, that only won 30 times out of 100. I think I'm gonna find something different. Then you do it again. Now the value of mentors and other traders is other traders have found models that have a higher win rate, that are more profitable. It doesn't mean you just go and trade it. You now need to go back test it yourself. You need to understand it. It's going to take probably 6 months of trading that one thing over and over and over again before you yourself become semi-proficient in it. I've been trading, my primary model is a breaker. Bullish and bearish breakers. And I've known about breakers since I started trading ICT. And just about, I would say 6 months ago, I became very comfortable with them. I'm just telling you guys, it's a lot more time than you think. So commit to the time and the education and the process. Don't make it about money, Vanessa. Make it about education and think about the future of what it's going to bring you when you commit all of that time and process. Okay? All right, so let's go back to the 5-minute here. We now have one 5-minute candle that's going to close in 1 minute. Okay? So I'm moving this 5-minute change in state of delivery right here. Okay? So in 1 minute and 17 seconds, that's going to close, and we want to see where that's going to close. Okay? The next thing that I'm looking at is I'm looking at this fair value gap that's right here. Okay, that fair value gap right there. Why am I looking at that? Because it's found support twice, and there's also a breaker right here. So yes, there's a breaker here, and there's a breaker here. So price could do something like this. Okay, do you see that? What I just lined out? Price could do something like this. That's what those levels, you can't just look at it, you know, you got to break through candles. You got to look at other things. I'm not saying it's going to do that. I'm just telling you, price can do a lot of different things. And the more open-minded you are on how price could move, the better chance you have of being confident about a potential trade. It also could go like this. It could go like this too. Do you see what I mean? Now, when I'm drawing these out, you're probably going, wow, that kind of does look like what the charts look like. Yeah, it is. But you don't know how it's exactly going to play. We're just trying to figure out what's probable and put something to it. Bruno Mark, I am Brazilian and I understand you perfect. Awesome. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Ember, Top Step. Cost a little more, but it's worth it. I'll look at Top Step again. I haven't since I started with Apex. Okay, another sweep of liquidity here. We go to the hourly. Guess what, guys? That hourly candle's still right here. I want this hourly candle to close down like this. That would be nice inside that range. And we could see price run back down this way. I think it will probably do it beforehand, but let's see what happens. So 5-minute candle did not close below this level. Five-minute candle still has 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. Okay, so we're still watching this to see if it wants to go lower. I'm also willing to take an inversion. If we close below this fair value gap aggressively, I'll take that entry to this low. I mean, there's so many different ways we could trade this. But for sure, I know the answer is don't trade it inside of all of this. Don't try to go long. Don't see this candle and go, oh, it's going without me. I got to get in. I've done that too many times. No, I only trade, Hachi, I only trade the Nasdaq. What you see is what you get. This is it. I don't like bouncing back and forth between assets. I just stay on one. It's easy. I know how this moves. I know how it feels. So I just stick with that. All right, 2 more minutes. We also have an SMT. So ES did not make a higher high. NQ did make the higher high. Digo, I trade ICT concepts, and I trade two models. I have several models, but the primary models that I trade is the inversion model and a breaker model. YOLO, that's just one of my confirmations. So once it closes below here in 42 seconds, if it closes below this line, it gives me more confidence that we're moving this direction. So I have less, it's a less likely that it's going to go like this. But as far as my entry is going to be either the close below this fair value gap or a retest of this breaker. There's so much overlapping, Digo. All right, so there's our 5-minute change in state of delivery. We've closed below it, as you can see, right there. Okay, we closed inside that fair value gap, so we're waiting. It's very possible for price to come all the way up here. Okay, that's not very far, so let's see if it can give it to us. I don't like that it's not closing, but it hasn't closed below that. I really want that close below, personally. There's a volume imbalance right here. Part of me just wants to go short right now. Typically between 30 and 40 points low. I like this order block right here. Let's see if it gives it to us. Just remember, guys, if we miss a move, there'll be another one. So remember this fair value gap that I marked out? I said, look, why am I interested in that? Because it's found support once and twice, a third time, now potentially a fourth time. That makes this, if we close below that, guys, it's game on. Do you understand that? That's that when you see a fair value gap that just has support like this, it may mean we just continue higher and we never come back down in the trading session and visit it. But if it does end up rolling over and closing beneath it, that's going to be probably a very good trade. There's a retest of the change in state of delivery. Look at that, 5 minute. We just retested this green candle. That's an order block. So let's see if it finds support there and it holds there, or resistance, and see if it rolls over from there. 20 seconds left. I would like to see, I don't care if it closes green or red, to be honest, but red or black would be heavier. All right, so we got another candle there. 15 minute, yeah, that's just, nice. All right, let's see what we got. Remember, patience is your best friend. Not taking a trade and being at zero is better than being at down $400. So don't take something that's not part of your plan, that's not part of your strategy. It's the hardest thing people deal with. Marbra, it's my first time here. Do you trade the AIM session? Yes, I do. Primarily, that's what I trade, and I will trade that tomorrow at 9:15 New York Standard Time. Two years. I've been trading futures. Two years and some change. That's the only thing I use in my trading. Lena. Lena or Lena? Watching this close, to be honest. Closing a close below this fair value gap. I know, Edzzy. It's kind of, honestly, it's because of the last 3 videos that I made. Last 3 videos were about day trading and scripture and the Bible and Christians. Potentially, but we're not, this isn't a signal service. We're not looking to just sell trades here. All right, so now that it's this low, I'm not taking the trade. I'm waiting for the retest of that. It's too low for me to take the inversion. I want it to come back up. If it comes back up and tags that breaker, I'm in the trade. If it drops without me, then it goes without me. It's 2 o'clock. Let it reach a little bit higher. I'll go ahead and take that trade. It did end up hitting my entry. I got in probably because it was 2 o'clock. I thought that it could move quickly lower. I'm not a fan of this inversion. If it inverses this, I might elect to wait for a better position. I'm not a fan of that right there. If I get another full-bodied candle here, I'm probably going to close the trade. I'll kill this before it hits my stop loss. Because I'm seeing a reaction here. Not sweeping that low and aggressive candles right here. I really don't like that. So I'd rather take a smaller loss and close it. That's better. That's what I wanted. Let's see if it does it again. I'll still same thing. If I get a big body candle higher, I'm closing the trade. Really would like it to go all the way down here. But we can go to there. That's still a good trade. 60 handles about. I don't like how telling you a lot of things that I don't like here. But I'm not doing anything. I'm just talking out loud. Also, it helps me verbally process. I'm glad that it closed red, or at least somewhat red. I don't like that it was a doji candle. I really want it to close below this fair value gap. I want it to close below this. That will be a good sign. I forgot I need to probably close that. That is... What count is that? 68. I'm going to have to close 68 here. Oh, let's let it play out. I don't care. A 5-minute fair value gap. Honestly, you should take a small profit there once we run this low, because it could react and move higher from that point. But I only have one contract that's copied amongst others, so it's all in or not. I want to see a big move below this, lower. Not higher, I want it to go lower. I will cut this trade if we inverse this green candle here. That's disappointing. You really can't plan for that. That's no fun. I mean, you can't predict that, to be honest. I'm half tempted to get back in because I still think this is going to drop. That hurts. Yes, it does. Went up 100, went from being up 100 on each account to now down 300 on each account. I don't mind having a loss. I just don't like having a loss that way. That way is just unnecessary. No, so that was copied. So that was on a 25K account, the one contract, and then I have it copied on other accounts, Apex and other accounts that I trade with 5 micros. So that's why it was 5 instead of it being like $80, because that would have been $80 with 1 micro. Tell me about it. Hey, there's things that just happen that happen. Now we get to exercise another part of trading skills, and that is managing your emotions. How do you feel? If you were in that trade and you got slapped in the face like that, how does it make you feel? Write out your emotions. Write out your feelings. I have a post-trade survey that I'll fill out that I'll put in how I felt. And I'll write out how I felt before, how I felt during, and how I felt after. Before the trade, I felt confident, detached, just let it play out. During the trade, detached. It looked fine to me. After the trade, pissed off. That's how it is. And then you now have to manage that feeling and be so aware of it that you choose not to get in another trade. I will not be taking another trade, most likely. Most likely I will not be taking another trade. Unless it makes something so obvious that it's just like, okay, I'm going to take it. But the thing is, you got to think about it. Right now, I'm okay with the loss. I'm down $300. I've been there many, many, many times before. But if my stop loss gets hit a second time, now I'm down potentially $700. That makes me feel uncomfortable. That makes me feel like I want to try to get out of that because I don't like the feeling that it creates. That is the beginning of the end of now overtrading, now revenge trading, now trying to get rid of those feelings that you don't want to have to deal with. So it's better to deal with the feelings by getting up, walking out, go running, go ride a bike, go cook some food, go do some push-ups, go put your mind to some other work, go pick up your kids, go play with your kids. Do something else so that you don't revenge trade, because that's where accounts are blown. My account isn't blown because of this trade. Accounts are blown because of what happens after. That was just dumb. That was just dumb. We didn't even hit the 5-minute fair value gap. That makes almost no sense. It should have at least tagged this 5-minute right here. Armando, thank you, my friend. Hit that like button. Thank you, thank you. Unless there is a 100-point stop, I wouldn't even trade this right now. It looks too messy. Well, now it does. Yeah, of course. But when we first got into the trade right here, or what was it? Yeah, it was right here. It didn't look that bad. This looked good. What I might be willing to do is take some quick scalps, but I'm most likely not going to take another trade. Lolo, today maybe 3. Yeah, the closing macro does start now. I know, that's kind of why I'm like, ugh. I hate being slapped in the face like that and then knowing that we're probably going to get that move.
Order submitted.
We're going to try this inversion right here for a quick scalp. And if it doesn't, I'm going to close it immediately. Needs to go in my favor fairly quickly here. The trade is a small inversion right there. If we can hit that low, I'll move my stop to break even. Oh, I don't have the screen share. Sorry, folks. All right, so it swept the low. I'm moving my stop to break even. If it stops me out, it stops me out. But now I'm free to let this trade play out. Don't stop me out.
Order canceled.
Well, that was the only thing I was willing to try there, folks. Got stopped out for break even. It did hit the target, but I just wanted to see if it was willing to go lower. So got stopped out at break even. I'm not going to do another trade. Going to close my accounts. It's worth a shot. There's a slap of the 5-minute fair value gap right there. Yeah, but I have closed all my accounts. All my accounts are closed, and I don't have anything open but this chart. I mean, you can even see here. I'm logged out. And now we probably missed the move because I know it's here. I've seen it too many times. So Jonathan, we'll see you. Oh, I know. It's always that way. It is hard one. It's a hard one. This year is the year that I told myself that that's going to become something that's dealt with. And I've put a lot of emphasis on that. A little bit of a breaker right here. How do we? You decide. That's it. You make the decision to do it, and then you have the integrity to follow through with it. Doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. But think of a loved one in front of you. A loved one's watching what you're doing. It would be a lot easier for you to walk away with that person right there with you. So when you're behind closed doors or no one's watching, that's where true integrity takes place. True integrity takes place behind closed doors. And I remember, and I can't say, right? We all know that our Father in heaven sees what we do in secret and not in secret. But it's not necessarily that fear that keeps me or that empowers me. It's this desire in me to want to live a life of integrity. That's the driving force. It's not the fear that our Father in heaven sees everything that I do. It's this desire that propels me to want to live that way. I want to have integrity. I don't want to be a trader that trades here and does something else that you guys don't know about. There's a lot of responsibility for me to educate, to tell people, give them recommendations. And if I'm not doing that myself, man, I'd feel like a fake. But it's more than just that. It's just a desire to want to walk into integrity. But even then, let's just say you're struggling with overtrading simply because you know you shouldn't be doing it and it's just really hard. The short answer is you haven't felt enough pain to decide to change. That is the truth. When the pain hurts enough, you do things to stop the pain. When you break your foot, guess what you don't do? You don't walk on your foot because it's broken. The pain is severe enough to where you avoid it. So, either you let life happen and a horrible situation take place and you lose everything and the pain is so bad that maybe you change. Or you realize where this could lead and then you do everything in your power to walk out the steps needed to see change. So for me, I did a YouTube short talking about this very thing. If you can't be disciplined in your real life, you never will be disciplined in your trading. If you have principles and convictions that you believe in but don't live by because it's too much work, or it's easier, or nobody knows, or nobody sees what you're doing in private, here's the move, folks. This is probably the move. If you are doing those things in private, in secret, let's call it as it is. Watching pornography, using foul language, talking behind others' back. If you can't do those things by abstaining from those things, it will leak over into your trading. No matter how much discipline you want to have in trading, if you're undisciplined in your real life, in your everyday life, it bleeds over. It bleeds over. And you will see those effects leak in, and then you go, ugh, why can't I be disciplined in this area? Because discipline is a muscle that needs to be exercised. So for me, I go to bed, I have a routine now. My wife is shocked. She's in utter shock. We've been married for almost 18 years. My wife is in utter shock. If she came on here, she would tell you that she never, ever, ever thought she would see the day where I would go to bed at 10 p.m. Never. She never thought that day was going to come. I am a night owl. I'll stay up till 1 a.m. 2. And then I'll get up at 7, 6. Sleep for 5 or 6 hours and get up and go at it. I go to bed at 10 now because I want to be disciplined in going to bed, because I know that that's the starting point for me executing on the next day. So I go to bed at 10. I get up at 5. I have a quiet time. I do my affirmations. I review my goals. I read the Word of God. I do my worship. I stretch. I do all these things in the morning session because I know that if I can be disciplined in my real life, I can be disciplined when I'm sitting on the charts. Now, do I have every moment of my day planned out? No. After 2 o'clock, I'm pretty whatever goes flows. Whatever flows goes. I work with clients. I'm going here, going there. Boom, 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 boom. But my mornings, I've decided that I'm going to structure it very, very structured. And even right now, every morning I have all my things. I have my notes. I have my morning schedule. I have my morning schedule that I have a bunch of different things on here that I review. Why do I have on here? This one says, why do I get up in the morning? This one says, why do I go to bed at 10? This one down here says, my goals for 2025. This one said, what does that say? That's my prayer list, things that I'm praying for. This is my daily affirmations. The next is my trading commitment. My post-trade protocol. I can't read backwards, so I can't do that. Words that the Lord has given me. And one of them on here, why do I get up in the morning? I'll read one to you. One of the reasons why I get up in the morning. It's right here. Why do I get up at 5 a.m.? To remind myself that I don't do things just because I don't feel like it. But I do things because it's the right thing to do, or it's because I've decided to do it. I get up in the morning to get my mindset right and focused. I get up in the morning to pray for my family. I get up in the morning because I know this is the first step to see massive change in my life. I get up in the morning to let the seed of God's word grow and bear fruit in my life. To set a solid foundation for the day's work, for my business, for my future. That's what I do in the morning. So, I'm trying to take daily disciplines to strengthen that discipline muscle so that in my trading, I'm also disciplined. Do I have failures? Yes. Do I make mistakes? Yes. But when I do, I grab this again and I recommit myself to that process. This is horrible price action, folks, but I do want to note just one glimmer of light that I thought was nice. Look at the highest candle. Look what it hit. I put this red line there before we had the line. This line is the midpoint, exact middle of the daily fair value gap that I marked out when I first got online. You can see me do it if you go back to the beginning of the stream. Look at that. It's this right here that proves to me the market is doing something intentionally. There's an algo telling it to do something. Because, I mean, look at that, guys. I mean, you're seeing the same thing I'm seeing. I put this line there out of an entire day's worth of price action. Okay, let me show you. Okay, we go to the daily chart. Here's the daily chart. I put that fair value gap from over here. I found a level between March 27th and March 20 and 31st. On March 28th, I found the middle between the low of the 27th and the high of the high or the close of the 31st, and I found the middle. I brought that over, and then I put a red line right in the middle of it because I said this I want to see how it reacts to that level. You see that? That's precision, folks. That tells me, hey, we're on to something. We might have gotten crappy price action. I might have gotten stopped out of the freaking trade. It might have slapped me in the face, but I have its number. I have its number. I got you. It may not be today, but it'll be another day where I'll get the trade. I'll get the trade. Marba, I do. I'll be live tomorrow morning at 9:15. JY, so are you fine getting only 7 hours of sleep? For now. And most times it's less because by the time I'm trying to go to bed at 10, my wife's walking in the bedroom and then she's talking to me. So I'm laying my head on the pillow going like this. Ready to go to sleep. Traded Cold, did the Lord tell me when you would be profitable? No. He just gave me the promise, so I believe it, and however long it took, I was going to do it till it happened. What's up, Viking? Looks like now if you're still wanting to do something, I wouldn't be doing anything until about 250 or about 350. Most likely 350 will get some type of reaction. But I did not expect that. So it is what it is. We didn't get the move. Got slapped in the face. But there's nothing good that's going to come from this that I would want to be a part of. So all my accounts are closed. And my copier I just closed. I didn't realize it was still open. Trader Colt took me 18 months. And even still, even though I'm profitable, it doesn't mean I don't have struggles, or I don't have mistakes, or I don't have periods of drawdown, or I haven't had blown accounts. But I'm profitable now to where I'm bringing enough to cover bills for my family. I'm not 100%, I'm not 100% supported by my trading as of yet. The day's coming. There's no doubt in my mind, because I have a plan, I have the process, and I have the commitment to take it there. Yeah, I wouldn't want to trade any of this, folks. That's how I feel about all this right there. Whatever you determine that to be, that's how I feel. All right, Viking. Later, my friend. What's up, Byron? Congrats. Well, don't blow the account. Let's hang on to the account. I'm glad you passed it. Nice job. Trader Colt, it's not a hard rule. I prefer to stay under 3 or less. But there are times where I will, for example, like right now, I haven't taken a trade on my personal account, and I'm just remembering that. So I'll take a trade on my personal account with 1 micro contract. And actually, if the market moves at 250, I may do a trade on my personal account with only a single micro. I started a small account challenge, and then during one of the trades that I took, I actually took 5 contracts, and it was horrible. It basically put me in a position where I was like, felt defeated and really low on the account, that I just put a pause on it. And then I've worked that account back up to almost $800 slowly. But I think one of the mistakes I made was putting a stop loss of 10 handles. That was a real killer to my ability to have success in that. Peter, you've been saying that all for the last hour. It's not helpful if it's not going there right now, because that's what we got to do. We got to find when is it going to do it? It's time and price. I do like that we swept a little bit more. I would like to see it run this direction. I know That's where time is like so valuable. And sometimes time doesn't work out the way we want it to. But I mean, that's just not fun. Yeah, I think we're going to drop here, if I'm honest. I think we should drop here. And specifically, I think it will probably be fairly quickly, with this being just a large fair value gap. We going to go? Do I have ADHD? No. I thought I have had in the past, but I rebuke that. No. I'm focused. I can handle attention. Let's just say this. Anytime I'm sitting down, I'll shake a leg, I'll shake a hand. I'm moving some part of my body, but I can stay focused as long as I need to, because I'm not going to accept a title on something like that. All right, here we go. Let's fall right here. John, I do. Yes, every day of the week. I'm here usually at 9:15. Here we go. Now we should get I want to see a nice push here. Now I don't want it to disappear into another wiki candle. I just want to see it expand. There it goes. Nice. Let's hit the next one. That's a nasty wick. So I am in a trade on my personal account with 1 micro. I am wanting to go short. I sold 1 of my micro contracts and I have 1 left. It is out of this world. Here, let me jump back here. That's what I got on the trade right now. I already sold. I took 3 micros. I sold 2, so I only have 1 left. So I'm in profit. This is my small account. I'm in profit $48. So if it goes negative on me on 1 contract, I'm okay. I'm holding it to see if we can get this push lower, because we have a lot of room to the downside. Honestly, it'd be pretty sweet to get to there. We may not. But even in this, when we talk about quitting and being disciplined, there's zero copy trading on this. I'm taking the smallest leverage or size possible, and I have a set of rules that I'm still following, and I'm okay with the loss. There's zero emotion, because if this wasn't emotional a trade, this would be on all the other accounts trying to get all my money back, right? I've accepted those losses, and I will have those losses tomorrow. As in, they're going to stay there. Right? So I'm not going to trade them again. Are we going to get down here? I mean, this is maybe a pipe dream. What about 50%? Let's do 50%. Where's 50%? Right there. What is that level there? 579? Okay. Well, let's go to 579. That, I'll put my target there. I want to get to equilibrium of this price leg. That seems fair. That seems more reasonable, if it will give it to me. Yeah, no, this is break even. This green line is break even for me. Actually, no, it isn't. Break even would be here. Guys, this is a break-even trade potential, and on a micro account, this is not a strategy. There's not, I mean, there is a strategy. We broke below this consolidation. We have a breaker right here. So, I mean, it's meeting the criteria of what I wanted, as well as an inversion. So let's see if we can get below this, back below this, and it give us an inversion right here. I did. Liz, I said that Liz, I mentioned, somebody asked a question about, what did they ask? About closing a trade. I opened this because I haven't taken a trade on my personal account. I forgot that I didn't do that. I typically take one trade on my personal account each day. It's a single micro, and this is that single trade. When I was talking about my performance accounts, because that's what I make my money off of is my performance accounts. I don't make money off of I don't trade my personal account to provide for my family, so to speak. I started with a very small amount, and I wanted to build it out. So that stopped me out at break even. So that's it for that trade. And I'm kind of glad I moved that to break even, because here in the next 10 seconds, we're probably going to shoot for this high. Or shoot for the low. Honestly, I don't know. Who knows what happens at these candles. don't like trading right at 250 anyway. Well, folks, I think we're going to call it a day there. I'm not trading anymore. That is it. Logged out of that account, and probably will go pick up my kids here in about 15 minutes. I'll be live again tomorrow morning, guys. I'm typically 9:15 is my favorite bread and butter time. Tuesdays I do a PM session, and as you can tell, sometimes the PM session just is nasty. This whole session was really nasty. So if you want to hang out, come tomorrow. If you use prop firms, guys, consider using Apex or any of the ones listed below and use the code DTJ. Since everything I do here is free, if you want to support the channel, use that code. I would greatly appreciate it. So with that, guys, we're going to sign off. God bless. Stay safe. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.